vibe like coming, join the ride. The million take over, we're on this vibe. The vibe like coming, join the ride. The million take over, we're on this vibe. The million take over, we're on this vibe. From headlines to the block, watch the bus succeed. Straight talk, no filter down to the nitty-gritty. It's the million take over, we're kicking it. Stocks vibe like coming, join the ride. The million take over, we're on this vibe. Stocks vibe like coming, join the ride. The million take over, we're on this vibe. The million take over, we're on this vibe.
Hey, what's up? What's up, y'all? It is the Million with Opinion back with another video. Today we're gonna talk about Harvey, Illinois. Now, tonight I am going to be streaming from the platform that I use, so I don't have all the little crazy stuff that I usually have on my stream, so y'all forgive me. I don't have my what's up, but y'all can feel it in spirit. What's up, y'all? I hope y'all having a great night. Um, we got Javar in the building here for the mess. What's good, Javar? We got Skeeter in the building. What's good? Common sense. Hey, y'all, what's up? We got Saint Center in the building, so hopefully we're gonna have a good show, y'all. I'm not going to be clowning Doodoo Brown today, y'all. So we're not gonna be talking about Doodoo Brown, but we are going to be talking about some stuff that's equally as important. Um, but Also, y'all know No Kings Parade just took place. So we do plan on talking about that on a different show with 3 other guests. So I hope if y'all haven't done so, do me a huge favor and press the subscribe button so y'all get the notifications when I decide. Well, it's gonna be soon, of course, when we go live on with that show off the record. All right, guys. So, but on this one, on this platform, now I do have a couple of things, um, so I can go ahead and wave to you guys, you know. All right, y'all. But no, let's get into the show. So the first thing that I think that is going to be important, I mean, unless y'all want me to, like, you know, I don't have a problem, being messy, but in this show, I think that we need to talk about some important stuff, y'all. Some important stuff about Harvey, Illinois, how this scumbag piece of shit mayor, Christopher Clark, is trying to bamboozle, hoodwink, and lead the residents astray, pretty much. And so that's what we're going to discuss in this show. We're going to talk about it with receipts. Of course, I'm going to give y'all my opinion, of course. It wouldn't be a show without my opinion. Before we get into the show, y'all, do me a huge favor. Hit the like button if you haven't done so already. But the first thing that I want us to look at before we get into the show, we're going to start off with, let's look at a couple of things, starting with Mayor Clark's salary. All right. So before I start looking at the videos that I wanted to do a reaction to, and y'all let me know if y'all like talking about Harvey, if y'all want to get down to the bottom of what's going on in Harvey, Illinois, let me know, because I don't know if people are really even giving a damn about what's going on in Harvey. It's disheartening, because you have Jedediah or Doodoo Brown over there that's advocating for the mayor who is a clear and obvious corrupt and piece of shit mayor and is not looking out for the best interests of the city. I mean, anybody could see it, but Jedediah Brown seems to think that, him saying that Mayor Clark is a good guy, that people are just going to be dumb and stupid and believe what they, you know, the opposite of what they can see with their own eyes. So, of course, he has been probably the biggest issue when it comes to reporting on Harvey because he's obviously he has a separate agenda. Him and Clark are working together and they obviously have a separate agenda because everybody who shows any ounce of dissent are concerned about what's going on in Harvey. Guess what? Christopher Clark seeks his lapdog Jedediah Brown on whoever it is. It could be resident, an elderly person. It doesn't matter who it is. Jedediah has no chill. He don't have no boundaries. He has no morals, no ethics. He doesn't care who he goes against and how he goes against. And he's going to go against them in the only way that he knows how to, being a hood rat. That's all he knows how to do is be a hood hoe from the streets, him and the silverbacks that he's with. And so when it comes to reporting on Harvey, that's pretty much been the biggest issue that I've seen when it comes to reporting on Harvey. All right. But with that being said, we are going to still go ahead and report on Harvey. We're going to go ahead and give the facts. And you guys, the audience, the public, you guys can make your own decision as to whether or not, you think that Mayor Clark is a good mayor or if you think that, maybe they need somebody else in office, right? So, first thing I want to start off with, guys, is going to be the salary for Christopher Clark. So, if we go down here, he's kind of far down. We see Christopher Clark's name right here. All right. And you guys see, now this is his beginning salary starting the 50,000. 50,000 is his beginning salary. And we're going to say that was in 2019 when he first became a mayor. All right. Now, when we looking at facts and looking at, because when we look at how his salary increased, I want you guys to think about the fact that this man knew that the city of Harvey was $160 million in debt in 2019. He knew that the city of Harvey owed millions of dollars in the water bill. He knew the city of Harvey owed the comptroller. He knew all these things about the condition of the financial state of the city of Harvey, guys. So just keep that in mind when we start looking at how this man decides that he wants to increase his own salary. All right. So first year, 50,000. A modest salary, nothing wrong with that. Okay, good. Nothing to see here. 2020. He then gives himself a raise of about $5,000. $5,000, 55, 5,000. Okay. Nothing, nothing to see here. That's cool. I'm good with that. The people of Harvey, I don't know if y'all good with that. Looking at your financial situation, maybe he shouldn't be getting any kind of raise. Maybe they should put a freeze on raises altogether at this point. But it's only a $5,000, $5,200 increase, right, in the salary. All right, then we get to 2021. This man increases his salary damn near twice the amount. From $55,000 to $101,000. Now, guys, look, I get it. The cost of living has went up. Eggs are at an all-time high. I get it. I get it. But $50,000 increase, and your city that you are the leader of is $160 million in debt for 2019. The debt hasn't gone down any, mind you. He hasn't brought the debt down. He hasn't done anything to really deserve a $50,000 raise. You didn't bring the deficit down. The city has never looked worse. Crime is at an all-time high. What did you do to deserve a $50,000 raise? Somebody please tell me that. But you know what? He says, you want to know what? Whew, got away with that. They ain't say nothing. The people didn't notice it. They didn't say nothing. So guess what Mayor Clark does? Guess what he do the next year? He said, you know what? I ain't gonna go for the gusto like I did last year. But let's go ahead and add another 23K to that. Let's go ahead and add a few more K, 23K to that. As if he's doing something to even deserve the 5K raise. The man ain't doing shit. As a matter of fact, they had I think it was a $1.9 million grant for them to have all of these these sub-zero pods or hubs that people can go. $1.9 million. It was supposed to be 6 hubs that were built for that $1.9 million. How many hubs do y'all think have been built with that $1.9 million grant? In addition to that, in addition to the $1.9 million grant, I hope y'all know that they did a ribbon cutting for the grand opening of one of these hubs. Y'all, ask me if the hub's open now. Ask me if you can go to that hub right now and take advantage of the services that $1.9 million grant was supposed to afford the residents of Harvey. Probably can't though. I'm gonna tell you that. You could probably go to the building during normal business hours, but won't nobody be up in there. All right. 135. This is 2022. 2023, I'm sorry. In 2023, this man was making $135,000. In the city of Harvey, that's $160 million in debt. And you mean to tell me that he has the city's best interest in mind? 2023 done passed, done came and went. 2024 done came and went. His salary, guess what? In 2024, what made you say, let me bring it back down? Clark, why you bring it back down half? Almost half of what he was getting paid. You bring it down to 75K? Like, that's not anything that, like, okay, why you do that? What he trying to hide? Or maybe he just trying to get the smoke off of him. You know why he was trying to get the smoke off of him? No, I'm going to show y'all why this man was trying to get the smoke off of him. I'm gonna show y'all why he was trying to get the smoke off of him. Why he decided to lower his salary to 75K. We gonna talk about that. Don't worry, don't worry. I got y'all. Don't worry. We gonna talk about it. But yeah, this low life piece of shit scumbag mayor thought that he was gonna fool the people by trying to lower his salary after 50,000 and then 135,000, almost 3 times the amount he started with. Now y'all can see why Tiffany Henry thought she could pull that shit. Now y'all see why Tiffany Henry thought that she was gonna get away with it. But I'm gonna tell y'all why, after doing this for so many years, because he wasn't gonna stop. Let's be honest, he wasn't gonna stop. Why? Why stop? Wasn't nobody saying nothing? Why stop? Let me show y'all why he stopped. Let's get into that. All right, so before I get into it, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat real quick. Oh, okay, y'all. We got Wyoming girl in the building. We got Beth McBride. We got Master G, Dave Bryson. Succeeding too. What's good, y'all? I don't have my thing. And yes, I know I'm looking rough and all that other stuff, but who cares? We here for this, the information. We need to know what's going on with these people, right? So let's talk about the facts. All right, so let's get into why. Let's get into why. Oh, we got Foxy 2, Roxy 3 in the building. Y'all, give it up to Foxy. Say hey. All right. So the reason why this man thought that he was going to lower his salary, let me just get into it real quick, because, I know y'all are like, why? Why he thought he was going to lower his salary? What you think you done got on this man? All right, well, I don't have anything on this man. This is all my opinion. This is just what this lady is saying. This is from the news report. About 3 years ago, a lady came in to the police department. Her job was to uncover the corruption that was taking place in the police department. Right? Fair enough, right? All she had to do was do her investigations, do her due diligence, and uncover what was taking place, if any corruption was taking place in the police department. She had Mayor Clark's blessing to get this done. He wanted to uncover it as well. But something happened. And for some reason, that report never got released. So let's talk about that part, y'all. Let's look at this video real quick.
And now a CBS 2 political investigation. She was hired to crack down on police corruption in Harvey. But after only a few months on the job, Olivia Cobbins resigned, she says, in disgust. She talked exclusively to CBS 2 political investigator Dana Kozlov about what she claims is rampant, ongoing misconduct.
My passion is police reform.
And that passion is why Olivia Cobbins says she signed on in August as the head of internal affairs for Harvey's police department. The former Chicago cop says she had Mayor Christopher Clark's blessing to clean up misconduct. But this week, with less than 3 months on the job, Cobbins handed in her letter.
3 months? 3 months into investigating this scumbag piece of shit mayor's police department. And this lady had to resign. Now that's crazy. 3 months. That's it.
I couldn't stand in the position that I was in as a woman and as a police officer and see the level of corruption and misconduct in Harvey.
The level of corruption and misconduct Now, just so you guys know about Christopher Clark, he was also investigated because a shooting took place and he was involved. His security detail, which, so you guys know at the time, were not licensed police officers, they were just security detail, shot in the city of Chicago at what they claimed was a robber or a robber, an armed robber. And so they were being investigated because they were the only ones that shot. They never found the armed robber. They got away. I think they caught the man, maybe, but yeah, this is the type of person. But I think they got away actually. So yeah, this is the type of person that we're talking about.
I couldn't stay.
In her letter, Cobbins focuses on an incident at Thornton Township High School in October. She says an officer came to her with allegations Harvey's deputy chief punched a handcuffed student in the chest. Cobbins says when she tried to investigate, police higher-ups blocked her from accessing evidence, including body cam video.
And it wasn't the first time. This was more like the third time that my access was restricted.
She also says a higher-up laughed at her attempts to look into death threats against a Harvey police officer.
Now, I wonder who the higher up would be. Who would be a higher up? Why couldn't they just say the person's name, or why can't they just say the person's position? That's kind of weird, but
When his cries for help were laughed at, I knew I couldn't stay.
Clark beat longtime Harvey Mayor Eric Kellogg in 2019, promising to crack down on violence and police corruption. But
so just so y'all know, in the time that Mayor Clark has been in office, at least the first term and going into half of his last term, the crime has been at an all-time high. The city of Harvey was labeled the most dangerous, more dangerous than 98% of the other cities in America. So they're in the top 2 percentile for being the most dangerous cities in America. Harvey, Illinois is. Just so y'all know, just so y'all have the numbers. Yeah, let's keep watching. We only got a few more seconds. Let's keep watching. And then we're going to get into some of the more current stuff. I'm just trying to set the background, trying to give you guys some context before we start looking at this clown try to explain or give an explanation of why Harvey is in the financial state that it's in. So before we start talking about that, I wanted to give us a little bit of a background into the type of character that Clark is. And really, you know, we don't even have to look at this any longer. I think you guys can get what I'm saying. The next video, however, that I do want us to look at, again, just kind of looking backwards so you guys can get a picture of the type of person Christopher Clark or Clarence Clark or whatever he wants to go by today. So you guys can get a picture of the type of person that he is. In my book, he's a scumbag. He's a loser. You know, he's the type of mayor that that you don't even wish on your enemies. I mean, he's just a piece of shit mayor. He didn't let them clap. He didn't let them talk in the meetings. He was acting like he was a dictator. Okay, so and Jedediah Brown came in and thought that he needed praise because he got Christopher Clark to let his residents, the taxpaying residents of the city that's at those meetings, he thought he needed praise because he was able to get Clark to allow them to clap. That's how corrupt this man is. That's how corrupt he is. Those are the facts. But let's look at this other video just so you guys can get a little bit more of an understanding. Y'all may have already seen it, but we're going to watch it again.
Business owners are calling the I-Team because the city of Harvey is denying their business licenses and placing cement blocks at the entrances. The mayor says it's happening because the businesses are delinquent on property taxes, but business owners say it's not fair.
When you see these, what do you think?
I thought it was nonsense.
At the Harvey Auto Center, Benicia Gonzalez is blocked from doing business with cement barricades.
And they even
All right, so first off, I'm stopping these videos while we're watching them. I know you guys may want to just continue to watch the full thing, but the reason why I'm stopping it is because I just kind of want to explain what we're looking at, guys. So this man had placed cement blocks in the front of these businesses that were apparently behind on their taxes. All right. Now the thing about that is, the crazy thing about this is that if you think about it, it takes time, it takes resources, it takes a lot of stuff just to get these cement blocks there. And when you hear how he was able to get those removed, you will see that it did not help the city. The city had to pay the cost for the resources to be used to get those blocks there, but they're not benefiting with the payout. In fact, we're trying to figure out where the money's going, but let's just keep watching.
locked it?
Yes, this is their lock and their chain.
The city of Harvey placed the cement blocks here recently after suspending her business license. According to these letters sent to businesses, licenses were suspended due to delinquent property taxes, which she and others like Michael Kinch owe Cook County, not the city of Harvey, although the city of Harvey uses those taxes for city services.
They came with huge trucks, a giant crane, and 20 people.
Kinch is in the same situation at his used car lot, Michael Motors.
These blocks of cement clearly won't budge.
A cease and desist.
Huge trucks. So y'all got huge trucks and all these type of resources to get these cement blocks out there, but y'all don't have no way of demolishing houses? How can you get the blocks out there if you can't, but you can't demolish the house? How that work? Yeah, what you can do is you can do what you want to do, and you can use the resources that you want to use to do what you want to do. But when it comes to doing what the residents need and what the residents want, you like, nah, we ain't got no money for that. We ain't got no resources for that. Don't you see I'm trying to pay for this $30,000 gospel fest? The hell? But nah, let's keep watching.
Order posted on his door.
And it was such a big production to come and shut us down.
Municipalities traditionally rely on Cook County's process to send delinquent notices and potentially sell back taxes at a tax sale to buyers who then can put a lien on the property. But in Harvey, the city is taking action. Businesses now
So they said, fuck tradition. We need to get a piece of this money. We need to get a piece of this pie. We need some of this money. What they need it for? We the ones who want the money. So they said they stepping in. They stepped in, and now let's see what they doing about these businesses.
denied those licenses can pay a $20,000 fine to Harvey.
A $20,000 fine. That's one option. Option one. Y'all see that? It's option one.
For a one-year business license, or they could make monthly payments, which could cost up to $30,000 for the year.
So y'all see, they can make either two payments of $12,000, two payments, or they can do monthly payments of $2,500 every month. and nobody knows where this money is going and what it's going to. But they've been collecting this money the entire year. Just so y'all know.
Year. But that money would not go towards their delinquent property tax bills, only the license, which the city says usually costs about $250 a year. The I-Team also found other businesses with the cement blockades at the entrances. The city of Harvey wouldn't tell the I-Team how many other businesses have been denied licenses, but said that hundreds of commercial properties are several years behind in taxes, owing more than $12 million in county property taxes.
It became difficult to run a city and operate a city.
The mayor of Harvey, Christopher Clark, says the city counts on county property taxes.
Because these businesses don't pay their taxes, then the residents have to continue to pay more.
And that's why he says this.
So you said $12 million. You thought that the smartest way to handle getting your $12 million in back taxes was to basic. It seems like you're extorting these people. It seems that's what it sounds like, but. You thought that it was going to be to close the businesses down, put cement blocks in front of them, stop them from being able to generate any revenue. You thought that was going to recoup the $12 million in back taxes that you saying that they owe? That makes sense. That makes sense.
City recently
Why didn't
passed
I
a
think of
law
that?
which allows them to deny business licenses, but the law does not say anything about the use of those concrete barricades.
Why the cement blocks?
I don't know. You'd have to, I think it may be the best way at that particular point in time. We may use a variety of tactics.
Are you strong arming them?
Am I strong arming them? Are you trying to push me into strong arming them? I just told you.
He didn't say no. He didn't say no. He said, are you trying to push me into strong arming them? No, I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you if you are already strong arming them, sir. Don't twist my words. Answer the fucking question, you fucking bum. Milk dud head ass bitch. Answer the damn question.
You know who's been strong armed? The residents of the city of Harvey.
By your ass. By you. He, even with that suit on, he looked like he got a fucking odor. Look like he don't even bathe. Just sloppy.
Because they're losing their homes at an enormous rate. Because the taxes have not been paid by these businesses that are supposed to pay their taxes. Bottom line.
The mayor's office used their own camera to record our interview.
Look at this. Using resources, paying this man. Why is he on the clock to record an interview? The fuck? Why the taxpayers gotta pay for this? You got a personal videographer and y'all $160 million in debt. Tiffany Hingert, where y'all think she got it from?
The small business owner will say, hey, if I have to pay $20,000 to keep my business license, how am I ever going to catch up?
Well, once again, if they had been a good corporate citizen in the first place and did what they were supposed to do, they would have paid their taxes already.
Gonzalez says she's recently...
Clark, if he's talking about people being a good corporate citizen, then why did Clark lose his business two or three times because he couldn't pay the taxes? He was so behind on taxes that they took the building from him. But they didn't do it the Harvey way. They did it the traditional way. He got his building took from him the traditional way when you don't pay. That's how long he didn't pay taxes, y'all. So for him to get his fat, sloppy, butch body, bad built, ugly ass on this fucking news station and pretend Like the businesses are the fault or the reason? No. You are the fucking reason. It starts from the top. You are the leader. Obviously, he ain't even trying to help the businesses. This young woman just inherited the business from her damn daddy. And you mean to tell me you can't help her figure out a way to pay the taxes off? She pay you a lump sum and you still put a cement block barricade in front of her building? Stop the cap. Stop trying to act like you for the community. Stop trying to act like you for the city. You want people who gonna kiss your fat, nasty, sloppy, disgusting, shitty ass. Ugh.
Paid a large balance of her late property taxes, but a big bill was left behind when she inherited the shop.
How are we going to make the money to even pay our property taxes?
Those business owners saying they'll never catch up on those taxes if they pay the fines. Harvey's mayor says he's unaware of any other suburbs taking this action. This also comes at a time when property taxes and assessments have skyrocketed in the south suburbs. Jason Knowles, ABC 7 Eyewitness News. Business owners are calling the I-Team because the city of Harvey is denying their business licenses and placing cement blocks.
All right, guys. So that's pretty much what Mayor Clark. A couple of things. I can't bring everything out on one show, but that's just a little bit of the background on who Christopher Clark is. I also know that there's a police report where he pulled a gun out on a woman, put it to her face, and said he was gonna shoot her in her head. You know, we pulled his background. The man that wrote hot checks allegedly. All types of shit. So, that's just a little stuff for his background. But let's get into the video. Because apparently, actually, before we get into the video, let's talk about this letter that he just released, y'all. So they just released this letter from the mayor's office. So let's get into it. It says, a message from the mayor. For years, the people of Harvey have been asking the same questions. Why are the streets not fixed? Why do we still see vacant, rundown buildings that should have been torn down long ago? Why can't we keep up the landscaping to give our police officers, firefighters, and public works crew the modern equipment they need to do their job safely and effectively? Valid questions, citizens of Harvey, especially when this man has the most up-to-date, latest tech at the fucking city meetings that, hell, not even Houston, Texas has. He has more high-tech equipment than the damn city, than Houston, than Chicago. The answer, unfortunately, is money, or rather, the lack of it. And years of financial mismanagement, corruption, and neglect by the past administration. No, bitch, you. That left Harvey buried in debt. For 6 years, my team and I have been sounding the alarm, fighting in court and pushing the state to step in before things got worse. But you didn't stop spending. You didn't stop spending unnecessarily. That's what you didn't do. You didn't do that. You definitely was spending that motherfucking card to the point where they got a separate person who is swiping his own personal credit card just to get the fucking points. And we gonna talk about it more on my show. Trust me, we gonna talk about it. Not today, because I'm gonna bring in the experts and they gonna tell it to y'all they goddamn self. But let's keep reading, y'all. Let's just keep reading. Now we've reached the point where the city simply doesn't have the funds to continue business as usual. that we were taking action to fight for the people of Harvey. These steps are about protecting our city from collapse and demanding the support we've long been denied. We are invoking the financially distressed city law to allow the states to come in and assist because the only possible path left to stabilize our community, our finances, and build a stronger future. All right, guys. So these are his words. He basically saying he throwing in the towel. He gives up. Him and his team hasn't been able to do shit for 6 years. They don't foresee them being able to do shit that's gonna change the financial state. So guess what? Let's just give it to the state. Let's get somebody else to do it at this point. Get somebody else to do it. As a lifelong Harvey resident, I don't take this decision lightly, and I care so deeply about you and this city, and will continue to fight for this city to get the fair treatment and financial relief it deserves. All right, guys, so that's the letter that he sent out. But furthermore, guys, let's see. He also did, let's see. Oh, yeah, I unplugged my, all right, so let's get into the video. Let's see here. Before we get into that, though, y'all, let's look at the firefighter. So basically, Mayor Clark has decided that what he wanted to do was go ahead and furlough and get rid of some of the fire department. From my understanding, I don't have a full understanding, but if you guys have not done so, make sure that you go over to Ryan's page. His page name is Ryan Gay Chicago, as y'all can see down there at the bottom. And if you go to his page, you guys can see the full video. It's a 3-hour video. Of course, I'm not going to watch the full 3-hour video. Beth McBride was a part of the press conference, also Amir Shakur. So make sure that you guys subscribe to his channel as well. But I decided to take this snippet from Ryan's video so that we can watch what the firefighters in Harvey have to say from their own mouths. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. Let's take a look. So basically, they done laid 17 set 1 7 17 firefighters who were usually the first responders when it comes to 911 calls. Those are usually the first people to arrive at the scene, are the firefighters. And I mean, because they do the paramedics and they usually volunteer. But he got rid of 17 firefighters. So the safety of Harvey be damned, because All right, so y'all see what he's done. I completely agree with Mandy right here. It took Mayor Clark 7 years to figure out that the city was broke because they in the same amount of debt that they were in when he first got into office. So you ain't know? You ain't know? I don't believe that. Oh, so it's no sound? Y'all can't hear the sound? Oh, let me my bad, y'all. Let's get the sound going. All right. All right, y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? All right, so y'all can hear that now? Y'all let me know. No? All right, let's see here. All right, let's see here. Oh, you heard that? Okay. Can you hear that? I see you, Paris Cooper. You said they line that shit. Come back from Clark, but still on tonight, holding his balls. Per usual, pissed on him at the end of the live. Oh, he was live today? Jed did a live today? I ain't know. So is it sound or not? Y'all hear me? Just no video? Okay. So y'all don't hear the video. Okay, let me see if I can hold on, y'all. Let's do this. All right, so maybe that's what. Okay.
That what's happened is those individuals have been
Can
laid
y'all
off.
hear that?
Usually a furlough, and it varies by state to state, and I'm by no means a lawyer, but usually when I'm used to hearing a furlough, there's some sort of retention of benefits, medical benefits or things like that. And the people who have been furloughed in this case will receive no pay or no benefit after a certain point. And I think their health insurance might run until the end of the month, and they're going to get that last check, but it's going to be for the time worked, I guess.
Can y'all hear that?
Okay. Because when I checked, I think it was a Facebook post this morning from the city, and it said workers are being paid till the end of the month.
That's our understanding right now.
Yeah.
And that would be great. But after that point, they'll have neither pay nor benefits. So moving into November, they'll have no pay or benefits.
And as far as the stations,
Okay, so
And yeah,
I saw a camera and I asked what was going on. I was told 17 the firefighters were. Is the city calling it a furlough, or are they calling it laying off? What are they calling it?
So the actual language that they provided in the letters that they gave to those 17 firemen were they are calling it a furlough, and the union and the city are a little bit back and forth on kind of what a furlough means versus what a layoff is. We would sort of contend that what's happened is those individuals have been laid off. Usually a furlough, and it varies by state to state, and I'm by no means a lawyer, but usually when I'm used to hearing a furlough, there's some sort of retention of benefits, medical benefits or things like that. And the people who have been furloughed in this case will receive no pay or no benefit after a certain point. And I think their health insurance might run until the end of the month, and they're going to get that last check, but it's going to be for the time worked, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Because when I checked, I think.
All right, guys. So as you guys can hear from the firefighter himself, 17 of his co-workers were let go of, and what that means for the city of Harvey in terms of residents and their safety, it sounds like the city of Harvey is not a safer place today than it was yesterday. It seems like it's even more of a dangerous place than it was yesterday, y'all. So just keep that in mind.
It was a Facebook post this morning from the city, and it said workers are being paid till the end of the month.
That's our understanding right now.
Yeah.
And that would be great. But after that point, they'll have neither pay nor benefits. So moving into November, they'll have no pay or benefits.
And as far as the stations, could you verify? I know one's going to stay open, 3 is closed, and station 2 will be sometimes open?
Well, station 2 is going to be open as long as we can staff it. So we have to have 2 people out there to run that. That's, somebody gets sick, somebody gets injured, there's a further reduction in manpower. Obviously, we'll have to close that station as well and run entirely out of station 1.
Yeah, and then what else? I was going to say, the figures that I got. So there, before the 17 that were furloughed / laid off, you guys had.
So that means that basically that y'all going, the city of Harvey is going from 3 police stations to 1-ish, maybe 2. That's crazy. So y'all are reducing by 60%?
37 full time?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, you said no pay, no benefits, which is just crazy. Will you guys have someone there Monday for the city council meeting? Will there be a either firefighters or like a rep for the fire department?
So,
assuming the mayor doesn't cancel.
Well, I mean, the union is very active in this. This is the second time that there's been a layoff in Harvey, and the union is taking a very active participation in this.
They're working on it?
Yeah, we're doing the very best we can. We've tried to talk to people. We've tried to, we've got our lawyer working with the city lawyer, so we're trying to do everything.
You have a lawyer working on this thing?
Well, we have our union lawyer, and he's, obviously asking the city what's going on. We're trying to get clarity on some of that language, right? Like furlough versus a layoff.
So look, they weren't even given any heads up, any forewarning, any notice to prepare themselves. Clark just did not give a fuck about these firefighters. He just, at his own whim, decides that he wants to get rid of 17 of the firefighters. Did he ask any of the residents if they were okay with getting rid of 17 of the firefighters? They the ones that pay the salary. Shouldn't have had a say. But no. Clark says, you want to know what? Fuck the residents and their safety. Get rid of 17 of their asses. All right, so that's the first thing. Let me see what you guys are saying up in here. Hey, Miss Smart, what's good? And oh yeah, the parade. Sorry, I'm using my other system today, so we ain't got the parade today, unfortunately. Yes, he definitely should be dubbed the worst mayor in the nation at this point. All right, let's keep watching. The reason why we're gonna keep watching is because he's gonna say something else that's gonna be important, and I want you guys to listen to it because we're gonna talk about this a little bit later on, and maybe on another show.
You know, and then we're asking, you know, what this means in the future, things like that. So, as a union fire department, we do have a collective bargaining agreement in place with the city, and this reduction in manpower is a violation of that.
All right.
Yeah, and so, you know, we're discussing those things with the city, and really what we're trying to do is bring our manpower back in.
Correct.
Yeah, so we can better serve the citizens of Harvey.
And the surrounding communities, because you are part of Mavis, correct?
Yes, we do have Mavis agreement.
He said that is a violation of the contract. He said that Clark is violating the contract. But you know that Clark got sued by Harvey Park District for breach of contract and for malpractice. So this is normal for Clark.
With all of the communities surrounding here, and it is a regular occurrence, especially for the Station 2 guys, to go out of town to assist, you know, Dalton and Markham, Phoenix, Posen with any structure fires or large emergencies that they might get.
And that's important because no fire department could have all the manpower or all of the trucks or equipment to handle bigger fires.
I mean,
Mavis is very important.
Yeah, so the Mavis system is sort of local cities' answers to how a large department like Chicago might run, where you have firehouse after firehouse after firehouse, and you can just continue to pull people in. You know, obviously in the city of Harvey, we only have 3 firehouses, so if we get 2 or 3 structure fires going on at one time, we're going to need additional manpower, and it's the same for other towns, and often Harvey firemen do go out of town and help out with those things.
That's right.
I'm glad you mentioned it. Actually, that's a good point, because Beth had mentioned earlier when we did the press conference at the township that she being you might as well share.
I am a resident of the village of Dalton.
Oh yeah, we're over there pretty
had
frequently.
A lot of problems there, and there were advocates and people from Harvey who helped us, and I promised to help in Harvey to advocate for good and for change. And in that process, I've begun to advocate here also. And so, as a resident of the village of Dalton, I am very concerned about the status of the amount of firemen that are active in the city of Harvey, because that will draw from Dalton, who is functioning, but they don't have extra firemen.
Well, the other thing that's going on is like right now, we will not be responding. As I understand it, we will not be responding to our mutual aid departments. So
You couldn't.
yeah, it would take we don't have the necessary manpower we need in town right now. If we were to send 2 or 3 men out of town, obviously that would be bad. So, you know, Dalton's used to seeing 2 or 3 Harvey firemen show up to assist them.
Wow, so this doesn't only impact just Harvey, but this actually impacts the surrounding municipalities as well. So they won't be able to get the assistance that they may need from Harvey in the event of an emergency as well. So a lot to think about, but the reason why I wanted to also play him is because they have a $30 million grant that is on the floor right now. I think he's going to talk about it sometime soon. That's the reason why I am playing it
whatever
through.
they need, and they won't be getting those guys.
So in other words, this is fair.
The thing, right? Like the fire department is usually just an apolitical organization, right?
Correct.
Like the thing is and it's a really awesome thing about being a fireman is, you know, somebody calls 911 and it doesn't matter who they are or where they are. We go out and we do the thing, and so a lot of guys tend to be kind of apolitical, and so the one thing that we do know is, for whatever reason, 40 or so % of our manpower has been cut. And that's absolutely necessary manpower for us to get by as the fire department in this city, and then for us to do what it is that we made a promise to the citizens in this city and surrounding cities to do, which is when they need help, we come out and fix their problem.
Right.
And that's what we're asked to do. That's what we all raised our right hand to do. And so, as apolitical as we might be, I don't know why we lost 40% of our guys, but I do know that when I come to work on Thursday, they won't be there.
Correct.
Right.
All right. So yeah, well, maybe.
You're short-staffed.
Yeah, and might consider the reduction in our staffing, which is obvious.
I mentioned that pay this peak and
this did happen. That was the wrong way to this.
We could negotiate with the state legislature for funds that would just be for police and fire in this crisis.
Oh, good question, Beth.
Yeah,
that's actually a really great question. Thank you.
I mean, it's a really good question, and it's such a good question that me just being a fireman, I'm not a lawyer and I don't understand that stuff.
But I'm saying that because people will listen to this, so I'm reaching out to those people that are at the legislative level.
Well,
we would start thinking about this.
Yeah, well, there is a bill downstate right now that is asking for $30 million to help Harvey with its budget crisis. And it's been on the floor for a while. I know that the union has asked me to pen a couple letters to people down there and just ask for their help, which we've done.
Right.
We're signing those letters a little later today and putting them in the mail because obviously, $30 million flowing into the city of Harvey would help tremendously, right? Like, that would, I assume, bring emergency services back. That would bring.
All right, so they have a $30 million grant on the floor, as you guys just heard him say. They've been having this grant on the floor since March, guys. They just have not voted on it yet. But problem is, if they get 30 million, it's going to go to what it needs to go to, right? And so so I was going to go ahead and have us watch the Harvey meeting where he's explaining, but you want to know what? Only because it's starting to get late, and I just wanted to actually just kind of show my face on the screen. People have been asking about me, and let me say this: I do appreciate everybody's condolences and prayers and well wishes and all that other stuff, because you guys know what happened with my family or whatever the case may be. So I truly appreciate that. But I think for me, I'm just I don't want to hear Clark tonight. I don't want to hear his voice. I really don't. So I'm going to bring it back tomorrow. We're going to talk about it tomorrow. It'll be one of the first things I do, probably around 7-ish. I'll probably be on talking about Christopher Clark and what he calls his explanation for why the city is in the shape that it's in, y'all. And what I'll do is I'll also do it in OBS, which means I won't be streaming on Facebook. Right now I'm streaming on Facebook as well. So you guys who are on Facebook, make sure you come to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel tomorrow. I'll make sure to have my little parade going at the bottom, and all my other little stuff too. So with that being said, guys, I think that y'all are smart individuals. I think that y'all can see that Christopher Clark is not so good of a person, right? I think y'all can tell that. He doesn't mean his city, his constituents, the residents, the taxpayers, he doesn't mean any of them any good. He doesn't have their best interests in mind. In fact, I would say he's more of the reason for why the city is calling themselves financially distressed. 7 years? You can bring that down in 7 years? So, with that being said, guys, I am going to call it a night. And let me shout out to the people in the chat. Shout out to Beth, Thank you, Beth, for being in here. Lots of fires in Harvey. They need all the firefighters they can get. All right. Mandy, shout out to you. Thank you for being in here. I think we've been on the show together. I feel like I remember that name, Mandy. I think we was on a show together, but that's why he had the special meeting, because he was anticipating. I think he should have kept that meeting outside of the church. Church and religion and politics don't mix. They should be separate. We love you, Minion. Thank you for believing in my son. Oh, Princess Zelda, of course. Absolutely. Miss Smart, yay, a parade. Okay, so tomorrow the parade, guys. Reality Check TV in the building. What's good? All right, but y'all, Paris Cooper, thank you for being here with me. And yeah, we're getting through it. All right, so with that being said, y'all, Foxy 2, Roxy 3, all in the queue. I can't believe all in the queue. I don't know if I shouted her out, but make sure y'all go subscribe to All in the Queue. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Foxy 2, Roxy 3. Andrea Collins, thank you for being here with me. Wyoming Girl, of course, Dave Bryson, all of you guys, thank y'all for being in here with me. I'm going to cut it short. Javar, as well, Succeeding 2, Master G, all y'all, thank y'all for being in here with me. And Saint Center, thank y'all for being in the chat. I'm going to, like I said, cut it short. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. We're going to do it in bits and pieces. I'm going to figure out a way. But I'm going to get this information out to you guys. I have so much information that I need to get to you guys about Harvey. So stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. And with that being said, y'all, have a great night. And I love you guys. I will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a great night.